We are live. So welcome to my live broadcast. So tonight we're going to be talking about currencies of trade. It's going to be a very heated conversation, a very fun one. I have a feeling that I'm going to start sweating at some point because I don't know why this fan is not fanning well. Okay, but like I was saying, it's going to be a very interesting conversation. Now, the purpose of this whole thing is to help you identify the riches that are already within you, to help you identify the riches that are already within you, the wealth, the depth, the volume of wealth that is within, and also show you how you can convert that wealth to any other form of wealth possible. Okay, so the first thing I want you to do is a CMC sound check. So do a quick sound test for me. Okay, let me know if you can hear me clearly, if you can see me clearly, and then we can continue with this ride. I would love to see your comments in the comment section. Okay, so yes, I can see some people joining already. So let me know if you can hear me clearly. I don't want to shout so I don't wake up all my neighbors. Okay, so let me know if you can hear me very, very clearly, very, very clearly. So if you can hear me clearly, comment loud and clear in the comment section. And if you can see me as well, I'd love to know. Now, okay, so we are going to be talking about currencies of trade. There are many currencies that I'll be listing and discussing tonight. And I hope by mercy, by grace, by providence that we finish all of them, that we go through all of them, okay? Because I don't know when next I'll have the time to do this again. But in the meantime, I really hope this blesses you. So, Chisom, I can see you in the comments. I can see you. Just let me know. Do me a favor of letting me know if you can hear me clearly, and then let me know where you are watching from. Okay? Let us know where you are watching from. Uh, Anywhere at all across the globe that you are seeing this, you can let us know. Okay? Then along the line, anything that I say that hits you or something very tangible that you pick up from this, you can mention it in the comment section and I'll pull it up to the stage. Okay, then if this video is showing, maybe you don't like the way it's showing, maybe you prefer it in portrait mode, you can also mention that. Okay, I'll be very, very grateful to see feedback. So we are going to dive right into the conversation. Why am I doing this? For the past few years in my coaching journey, I've been able to work with people individually and collectively. I've been able to have, one-on-one sessions with people, group interactive calls with people. And one of the things that I get to realize is that many people do not even know what they have. So a lot of people are handicapped by the fact that they think they do not have enough. They think they are not wealthy. They think, you know, that what is going to make them wealthy is outside there, like it's far away from them, right? And this is a very limitist way to think about life or to approach life. Okay, when you begin to think that everything that you need to make you wealthy, everything that you need to make you rich, everything that you need to make you successful is outside of you, right? So I encountered a lot of people who always thought like that. I remember sharing this with a friend I met somewhere in my area. I remember having this conversation, and by the time we got far into the conversation, I was listing out and explaining the value currencies, these things I call currencies of trade. He broke down at some point. I was like, dude, I never realized this. I never ever knew I had such amount of wealth lying with me. I mean, he broke down to the point he was almost tearing up. And this is the situation most of us are in, right? This is the situation we find ourselves. not knowing what we have, not knowing what we can utilize, not knowing what we can sell. Okay, so if you are ready, let me know that you are ready. If you can hear me, let me know. Okay, so I would like to see your comments. I would like to see your comments from Facebook, from Instagram. I mean, not Instagram, from LinkedIn, from YouTube. Please put up your comments. If you don't put up comments, I will assume that nobody is seeing this, and then I'll probably just end the stream and we'll go and rest. We'll go and have an amazing night rest. Okay. So we're going to be discussing some of those things, some of those value currencies. I have about 11 or 12 of them here. Some of them I'll be crashing them, I'll be compressing them, into themselves. And one thing you should have in mind is, while we're having this conversation, one thing I want you to be thinking is this: what do I have? What do I have within me? What do I have that I can sell? And how can I sell what I have? Okay. Even if you think you do not have, there's something you can do. You should be asking yourself, what can I acquire? Because I believe one thing: what is going to make you your next 6 figures, or your next 7 figures, or your next how many, whatever figures, it's either is already inside of you, or it is something you can acquire. It's one of both. Beautiful. Favor Chinazong, I see you. Welcome. So it's either is something you already have, or it's something that you can acquire. So your question should be, how do I sell what I have? 2, how do I acquire what I can sell? Okay, 2 very powerful questions. In fact, number 3, how do I, perfect my selling skills? But that one is when you have already, acquired, when you already have identified what it is that you want to sell. Good. Now, these are the timeless secrets to unlimited wealth. Wealthy people understand these things, and they know exactly when to start marketing. They know when to start selling. They know what exactly to sell to who, at what time. So number one value currency, or let me say number one currency of trade, number one tradable currency is ideas. Ideas, or ideation, the ability to ideate, the ability to create ideas. Okay, and I'll tell you many ways that you can sell this currency, many ways you can trade this currency, or you can utilize this. Number one, you can create the ideas for yourself, right? You can create the ideas for yourself and build something out of it. You can build a startup, you can start a business by the ideas that you have. Number 2, you are highly Coach Samuel Isiu. I see you, my brother. Good evening. So you are highly in demand if you are able to bet ideas. Organizations will call on you, teams will call on you. I have people who, they feel their brainstorming sessions are not useful without me. Why? I love to create ideas. I may not be so much of the logistics person that, oh, we are going to this place. Yeah, take transport and go to Karu. You go to Karamajiji, you go to this. I'm not that kind of person. Arrange chair, arrange this. I'm not that kind of person. It's not because I don't want to do it. It's not what I'm cut out for. It feels awkward for me, right? I'm not so much of a logistics organizing person. No. But when it comes to ripping off ideas, I could literally create 30 ideas in 1 minute. I'm just pushing it out. Okay, how can we do? I'm that kind of person that while I'm creating an idea, in my mind, I'm already troubleshooting the idea. I'm already seeing reasons why that thing I am suggesting will not work. And then what we can do to to ensure that we checkmate what is going to make it not work, right? So I've been in teams, I've been in organizations where at any point that I signal that I was going to, you know, find my way, or that I was very busy, people will come and start begging. The meeting links will be landing in my DMs privately because they know that Chijioke has to be in this meeting. So this is the power of ideation. Okay, you can literally create ideas and sell your ideas. Yes, you must not bring every idea to the finish line. You can create an idea, you have the prototype of that idea, you know somebody who can take this and run with it, and then you sell it to the person. That's one of the ways to actually trade ideas. So I'm trying to let you know that those crazy thoughts that you are having, those crazy thoughts about education, about politics, about leadership, about mentoring, you know, about food, those crazy thoughts that you have in your head, there's somebody out there who has the capacity to turn the thoughts into action, to turn the thoughts into finished products, right? But they have the limitation that they do not have the idea. They have everything it takes to turn that thing into a finished product, but they don't have that thing, the idea, and you have it, so you can sell it to them. So that's number one, currency of trade: idea and ideation, the ability to ideate, the ability to create, generate ideas. It is a very rare gift. Okay. Number two is money. I decided not to make this one number one so that I will not think it's something so special. Okay. But we can't deny that this is one of the currencies that we are talking about. Money. And this money is divided into fiat currency and digital currency. Fiat currency, the one you can touch, coins and paper money, you know, your 100 naira, 200 naira, all those ones, your coins, and then on the other hand, digital currency. What do I mean by digital currency? Cryptocurrency, foreign exchange, you know, money that is stored on your digital wallet, on your device, that you cannot really, you cannot readily turn into cash, right? You have to go through maybe an escrow or a P2P vendor or something like that to get the money in cash and use it. But it is a digital currency. It's digital money, e-money. Okay, so that is the second one. And what you should be thinking at every point in time is not just how can I have this form of wealth, but how can I trade this? How can I trade it and make it more valuable? How can I trade it and get more returns? How can I get more returns on my investment of a particular currency? Whew. So that's it for money. So you have to be thinking, what can I do with money? I can buy assets. I can buy people's ideas and refine those ideas and make more money from the ideas. I can buy, you know, I can, what else? I can buy land and the land will appreciate. I mean, I already talked about assets. I can pay for programs and learn and improve my knowledge as an asset. I can pay to access certain relationships in my life. I mean, to access, to gain that connection with certain people. I may need to pay myself into certain circles, and I'll do it with money. So you can't run away from the money equation. You can't run away from cash. You can't run away from the fact that you need cash. You need fiat currency or digital currency. You need something sharp to do transfer. So it's very important, right? But let's not overflog this one. Let's get to the next one. And the next one is, what did I write here? Experience. So I'm reading out. This is a note I made. How many? I can't remember when I made this note, but I used it to teach my inner circle the same topic. The same thing, and I decided to bring this out this time around, because I know this is something a lot of people need to hear, need to understand, so that they can start taking action. So when you realize these things, your eyes will open. You will realize how wealthy you are. You know that okay, you are not broke, you're not poor. I mean, far from that. You only do not know how to trade the currencies that are within you that you already have or you are exposed to. So number three is experience. And that experience can be divided into different kinds: circumstances, positions, pain, situations. What do I mean? See, there are certain experiences you've had in your life that by the virtue of that experience, you can transform that experience into something tangible. You can turn the experience into a mentorship platform. The fact that you were once bullied can help you become a bully coach to children who are being bullied. The fact that you were once molested can make you write a book out of the pain that you experienced, and your healing journey can help you write a book that many other people who were in that situation or who are currently in that situation would love to read and also get their own epiphany, right? So, experience, by the virtue of your own frustration, somebody else can gain light, somebody else can gain, you know, victory by saying, this is what I experienced during my own time. The best counselors are usually the people who have gone through what they are counseling people about. Imagine me now coming out online to position as marriage coach, marriage and relationship advisor. if you if you see me as marriage advisor anywhere, I never marry. Oh. I've never married before in my life. So any advice that you are seeing is either they hacked my account or I'm sleep writing, I'm sleep talking. Don't take the advice. Don't take. I'm not in marriage or relationship, anything, right? But that doesn't mean I can't give my opinion once in a while. So why am I saying this? It's the people who have been there that usually have greater leverage in sharing their stories. That's why some people will use this on you, psychologically condition your mind. They get up to speak on stage and they're like, in my over 20 years experience in leadership, in my over 10 years experience in this, they have started conditioning you, and it's their right, you know. So you to think about what you have by virtue of experience in terms of pain, circumstances, situations, positions. Have you served somewhere before in a particular position? That's a currency. There are certain experiences you got from that that cannot be bought with money. Are you following me tonight? So if you are following, I'd like to see signs. I'd like to see signs that you are following this conversation. I'd love to see signs. I'd love to see signs. Okay. Prosper, you're welcome. Welcome, Prosper. Okay. I'd love to see signs that you are following. And let me know if it's a fun conversation. And if you want us to continue. Beautiful. Beautiful. Well done. Well done, Prosper. So like I was saying, experience is a powerful currency. Something you can always sell. Your experience belongs to you. Nobody can snatch away your experience from you. Nobody can snatch your experience from you. Okay. Now, the next one I'm going to be talking about is assets. This time around, I'm talking about tangible assets. Okay. Now, these assets can be digital and physical, right? It can be digital, it can be physical. So, I already talked about digital money. I mean, digital currency, digital money, right? Let's leave that one. These days, people are even buying spaces online. People are buying spaces. Now, let me give you a typical example of digital assets, right? My email and password is a digital asset. You know, there are certain things that are part of what I will over to my children. Okay, there are certain things that you will be happy to say to your child. Um, this is the, this is my email and password for this account, for Udemy, for Coursera, for whatever it is. This is where the future is going, actually. That more than, oh, this is the key to the car, this is the key, this thing, the house, this and that. People will be willing over their emails and passwords. Oh, when I was, so and so age, I used this mail, this account to create a cryptocurrency wallet for you, for my unborn child. So I'm going to will it over and then hand it over to them. They'll get the secret code in that will, or somebody's going to come, however. And then one day a child just grows up, gets of age, and realizes he has billions of money in his account. Parents do that nowadays. So that's also a form of, currency. And inside this, we have Uncle Tosin. I'm seeing plenty of guys here. Welcome, sir. So inside this currency of trade, we also have inheritances. Okay, inheritances. So you 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 shouldn't really be judging yourself by comparing yourself with other people. The truth of the matter is, this is neither good nor bad. It's just life. There are some people who did not start life on an equal pedestal with you. Some people have inheritances speaking for them. They have inherited millions and billions of naira waiting for them. Huh? They have inherited buildings, mansions. All those things are waiting for them. But some of us, some of us watching this, maybe you did not inherit much, and it's not a problem. Some people even inherited debts. They inherited debit alert. They say, oh, your father was owing this amount when he was alive. So no matter how far you run, you still have to pay it before we release your land in the village. Some people it's like that. For some people, okay. So inheritance is a part of those things. Assets, the land left by your great great grandfather for your grandfather and your great, all those ones, right? It's also part of the wealth that we are talking about, the value, the currency of trade. Okay, so some people trade their inheritances. I'm not talking about the ISO kind of trade. Okay, some people do business based on inheritance, based on, oh, who is your father, Tony Elumelu. Oh, okay, you have inherited a good name too, and a good name is also an asset, but I'll talk about that one later. Now, let's go to the next one. The next one is quite dicey. Relationships and network. I wish somebody would just be dropping this what is it called, just keep dropping it in the comment section. Relationships and network. And when I wrote this, I had to come back later, much later, and I added something on top in bracket: invested invested relationships and networks. Because if I do not do this, if I do not add that, we run the risk of having an entitlement mentality when it comes to relationships. We always have that tendency to want to reap where we did not sow as human beings. So you see somebody who thinks that life is about gathering network. So they're doing contact gain. Yeah. Hello, sir. I noticed we're in the same group together. Can I have your number? Can we connect? You know, and by the time you connect, next thing, boom, I'm doing this. Please help me repost my flyer. I sell yams and tubers of chin chin, whatever. Repost my business. My customer may be in your contact list. Repost me. I'm contesting for Mrs. Egusi Soup of Niger State. Repost and send to your family members and all your ancestors. Let them vote me with just 50 naira. You know, we can get to that point where we begin to think that by virtue of people existing and by virtue of us existing, people owe us. Uncle Bethel, this one enter me. Okay, so it becomes a problem that people become entitled to to relationships they did not invest in. You meet an influential person today, automatically you think they owe you their influence. You meet a wealthy person today, automatically you think they owe you their wealth, they owe you their money. No, it doesn't work like that. The whole essence of this teaching is to realize you that is to help you realize that there's one basic principle to life. Value goes for value. There must be an exchange in the equation. There must be an exchange. You can't run away from it. You must be exchanging something for something. And you can never, after seeing all these things, you can never say that you don't have. It's impossible for you not to have. Impossible. Okay, so we are talking about invested relationships and networks, and that is why you must make sure that you are investing in relationships around you. You must make sure that you are not approaching any table empty handed. And by empty handed, I'm not just talking about carrying gifts or bearing cash or whatever. I'm talking about the value that you have to give in that relationship. Yes. So your network is not your net worth. Uh-uh. Your network is only your net worth to the extent to which you invest in and ethically exploit that network. So if you're not investing in it and if you're not harnessing what is in there, you can be, you can be in the midst of very, very wealthy people. You can be in the midst of 10 billionaires and you still be the poorest of the poor. Why? Because you barely don't know anything to offer in exchange for the billions that they have. The only thing you know how to do is to behave like the streets, those who stand in the streets. Some people they will have pain in the thumb and carry bandage and bandage your hand and come and stand in the street. Mere mebere, have mercy on me. I am dying, I am poor. Give me your money. It's not how life works. So uh-uh. It's usually exchange. I don't know if you've noticed this, that sometimes you give money to beggars to a point that you get angry. I don't know if it happens to you. I don't know if it happens to you, it's completely fine. It's normal. So some people can pretend and say it doesn't happen to them, that they give all their wealth to the poor. That's fine. But you can give money to the beggars on the street that it gets worrisome. These guys don't ever leave the street. For some of them, they are making more money than you that is going to work, corporate job. If you divide your salary into 20 or 25 or how many working days, you will discover you are earning barely 3,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 in a day. Some of them stand on that roadside, they make up to 10,000 naira daily, but they never leave the streets. Why? They don't have the mindset to retain and multiply wealth. They don't have the right mindset. So, sometimes it gets pretty much annoying. Why are these people not living every day? Every day you are standing here, every day you are standing here, every day. Now, but there are some people that you are moved to help by the virtue of what they offer. Now, when I was preparing for this teaching, I plan to share something. I'll still talk about virtue later, but I plan to share something. You know, there's a particular beggar I met in my street. While I was back from work. I got down from the vehicle. As I was about passing, this man smiled at me. The beggar, he smiled at me and did thumbs up. Kai, that thumbs up he did with a smile, it was just like juju. I pulled out money from my an amount of money I do not usually give to beggars. I pulled it out and I gave to the man. The next time I was coming back again, I saw the same man. I was like, "Wahala, this man go soon do this thing again." The man, like he knew the logic. He smiled at me and did thumbs up. That thumbs up was, I don't know, but I needed it. Somehow I needed it. And that's for you to understand the value of exchange in every relationship. I pulled that money again and I gave to him. So there are always people who are doing things differently and they speak to you in a different way. There are some of them that you see them providing value, providing service. Some of them, because they you do not want to give them money, but because they helped you to find change when you dropped, you now give them money. Some of them, you meet them on the bridge, they are sweeping the bridge, and you are wondering, this person swept from here all the way to here. No, 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 let me give something. That's value. There's a form of reciprocity because they have learned to exchange something. They are not just there standing. Yes, the poor will always be in our midst. They are not all just there standing and saying, "Your money belongs to me, help me." No, they have understood that for them to actually get something, they have to give something. So you, as a person with two hands, two legs, you can see, you can breathe, you can Okay, can you hear me? Okay, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Okay, StreamYard has done me terrible things tonight. So please let me know if you can hear me. Once I confirm that you can hear me, then we'll go ahead. I had to switch my screen. It was just misbehaving in the other display. It was misbehaving. So I apologize for that. That's a long time that we've spent here. Thank you very much, Favor Yakubu. Okay, let me see if I can turn my if it's going to okay, I think this works. Okay, so give me a second while I set this back here. Okay, yes. So thank you very much for waiting. Thank you very much for waiting. So like I was saying, who can remind me what I oh my goodness. Oh, who can remind me what I was saying, what I was talking about? I think I was talking about I was talking about investing in relationships in your life, as a means to ensuring exchange, right? And I was giving the example, I gave the beggar story. Um, so I think I've talked a lot about that. Talked a lot about this whole thing. Just messed with my mind. This nonsense trying to figure out what to do. But yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's one of those things. It's one of those things in life. Yeah. So let's get on with it. Are you ready? Are you ready for us to move again? So let's call that one a break. Let's call it a break. Let's say you took a break to go and stretch and drink water and come back. So are you ready for the move again? Are you ready? If you're ready and you know it, shout I am. Okay. So relationship is currency. Relationship is currency. How can you make more money from your relationship? There are people who, at some point in their lives, they are going to, wonderful, thank you, favor. They're going to be needing people, right? But you have that connection. You know those people that they need. Same thing happens with human resource management. So you need an employee to come into your organization. Meanwhile, that employee knows somebody knows that employee. So instead of you going through thousands of resumes, you just ask the person that you trust for recommendation. Meanwhile, trust is also a currency. Now, if you are the kind of person who is connected to many people, you can think of what to do with that connection that you have. You are the kind of person that you know so many people, you have the contact of so many people, you are in the midst of so many people. It could be your church, you have the advantage that you're a leader in your church. You could be thinking, what can I do with this? You have the advantage that you're a leader in your youth group. You should be thinking, what can I do with this? There are some organizations that are looking for people in those circles, looking for the kind of people you have access to or you have authority over, so they can reach out to you. If you have a large audience, a very large audience consisting of young people, there are people who are looking to host events and train young people. Do you know that you can connect your audience to such people? Do you know you can even get paid for it? This is one of the things that people consider when they are when they are trying to venture into influencer marketing. When you are trying to pay an influencer to market something for you, you are considering, what kind of audience does this influencer have access to? What kind of audience will their message attract? There are some people that they have Gen Z audiences. So if you want to host a training for Gen Zs, you're going to target them through those people. There are people that they have baby boomer audiences. Some people have audiences that are more elderly. If you want to target such people, you know where to go. So network is a currency. Association is a currency, powerful currency. Relationship is a currency. Relationship with mentors, with family members, with friends. It's currency. There are some things that you would want to do in a particular place, and a simple phone call to a friend will get it done. But if you don't have that friend, you go waka tire. Hmm? Ah, sometimes if you have conversation with some people, you may be trying to ask them, oh, how were you able to get this done? What did you do? I don't know if you've had such conversations. What did you do? How did you do this? How did you get into this place? How did you? And you just hear, oh, I have a friend here. I called my friend, or my friend did this, my friend did that. Relationship, association. And this is one of the reasons you have to strive to do whatever it's going to take you to penetrate the right circles, to do whatever it's going to take you to. A lot of people have gone from that little glitch that happened, 10 minutes glitch. A lot of people have moved on with their lives. So please, if you know anybody that should be here, just tag them or call them, or just share this link, share this on your status on your Facebook or anything. Just hit the share button and let people know that we are live. Maybe a group that I shared this link in, just let them know, oh, this is an interesting conversation. I think you guys should join. Okay, I would really appreciate that. And trust me, if I see it, I'll come and give you a hug where you are right now. Right now, if I see it, I'll come and give you a hug. I promise you. So, like I was saying, relationships, associations are powerful. So you have to ensure that you are in the right circle. Do whatever it's going to take that's ethical and legal to get into the right circles and the right associations and the right friendships. Okay? There are communities, there are places, there are organizations that you should join. If possible, pay and join because you want to be in that circle at least. Wealth exists in circles, opportunities circulate within closed circles. There are opportunities that if I see them, I won't post them publicly. Why? If any kind of person gets access to the opportunity, the person will disgrace me. Well, they may not even know me, so they will disgrace the ancestors, so they won't know who posted it. But there are some things that people will tell me. In fact, I have a deal. Somebody just asked me 2 days ago, do you know somebody who has the financial capacity to handle this kind of thing, to get this kind of deal? You won't see me post that kind of thing online. What if one year person lays his hand on the post? I cannot post that kind of thing out there. So there are circles, there's a close perimeter, there's a very, very higher likelihood that somebody who is closer to you will access opportunities that come from you. Ah, Madam Oli, I greet you. Well done, ma. My hands are up. I'm loyal, ma. Thank you very much for joining my live session. I'm grateful. I'm honored. Thank you very much. Charity Jimo, I see you. Ah, voila. I don't go throw away my ring, my waiting. I go call them now. Where's the other one? Okay, okay, good. So thank you for joining. So yes, like I was saying, when you understand these things, you will strive to be in some circles and some perimeters so that whatever is circulating there can also get to you. Okay? And this is one thing I will also advocate for in religious circles, churches, mosques, I mean, whether Muslim or Christian or any religion. I'm sure saying that if we understand the kind of power that we have in circles, it will be hard for anybody to be left behind. Why? All these things I'm mentioning, opportunity, network, currency, service, knowledge, all these things I'm mentioning can be transmitted within the circle. So let's say church, for example, in the scriptures, the work of the Oluchi Anyi, welcome, thank you very much for joining. The earlier the apostles in the early times, they said they sold their possessions and brought the proceeds to the apostles' feet to be distributed as each had need. Now, in this time, in our own day and time, what we are going to be bringing to the apostles' feet may not just be money, right? Because if you check, maybe the one you have is not even enough for you and your family. And that's okay. So sometimes what we are bringing to distribute is knowledge. I know how you can do this. I know how you can get this role. I know how you can build this. I know how you can do this. So that knowledge can be distributed within the circle. Network. Sometimes I weep because, see, the kind of powerful people I see in churches, in church circles, I wonder why some church people are still poor despite the fact that we have those people. Now, I'm not creating or fostering entitlement mentality here. I'm saying that certain people have certain connections that if we are able to do our mathematics well, if we are able to do our transmissions and, what's it called again? Permutation and combinations right, and know that there's value this person can transmit to this person through this person, and something will move. Okay? So relationship. I can't underemphasize this. I be overemphasize. The English language people will come and explain that one later. If they care enough, if they don't even want to explain, we'll ask AI whether it's overemphasized or underemphasized, but whichever one. Now, I was talking about church folks, right? I long to see where brethren gather. I mean, Christians, church people gather and share ideas. Let's just share ideas of how we can move forward. Let's share ideas, business ideas. Let's see what will help us develop our business. Let's talk as people. This is the asset that we have. Let's share it. Who has leverage in this angle? Bring your leverage. Who has leverage here? Bring it. Who has network? Who is popular on social media? Bring it. Let's do something together and see how we can make a lot of money out of this, or make a lot of wealth out of this in any form at all. But usually it's not the case. I mean, usually church is just spiritual people gathering to do spiritual things and go home, you know, pay tithe and offerings, and that's all. And at the end of the day, you're not really seeing anything. You're just becoming broker than before. It's the reality. It's the reality. So don't come after me. I have nothing against your church, my church. I have nothing. But I'm just saying that we can do a lot better if we understand these currencies of trade and how we can utilize them, how we can harness them, how we can market them. Okay? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Chukuma Felicia. Thank you. I see you. I see you. Uncle Vitalis. Thank you for joining. So I don't even know the number now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've talked about 5 things. Number 5 is relationships. Number 6, excellence and competence in skill and service. Excellence and competence, and I divided them into 2, skill and service. What do I mean? What can you do? What do you have in your hands? If God wants to bless you right now and says, I will bless the works of your hands, which he actually said, what will you present? What are the works of this hand? What do you have to offer? What can you do? What skills do you have? What skills have you learned? What skills are you currently learning? What services do you provide? And what are the services you provide excellently? So this is a currency. It's not something shabby. Something shabby. It has not become currency. If it is shabby, it has not become currency yet. It is potential. If it is shabby, it is potential energy. You need a certain level of excellence to convert potential to kinetic. Kinetic energy in motion. You need that energy in motion is currency. It has to be moving and movable and appealing. So you need something tangible. What can you do? What can you offer? What services can you provide? You know how to cook, service or skill, right? You know how to paint. You know how to do graphics design. You know how to do house cleaning. You know how to teach, right? So these are acts of service and skills that you can put together and trade. So sometimes when people begin to say, I don't know what to do, I don't know where to start, I don't have anything I can, I just need somebody to give me money. All the things that I'm going through, it's just because I don't have money, it's just because I'm broke, just because I don't have a job. Sometimes I find it hard to assimilate. Because when you now start talking to the same person that says, I don't know what to, I don't know where to, I don't know how to, you now start finding out that they can cook. They can cook very well. They can talk very well. They can convince people like say there's no tomorrow. They convince all of their friends in their circle. 30 of them watch Boys Before Flowers because of them. So now you don't reach time to make money for yourself. You've forgotten how to do anything apart from begging people or demanding from people or depending on people. That's sad. So you think about all the things that you can do. What are the skills that I have? Whether the skill is refined, I mean, it's looking wonderful and shiny or not. Can be the ability to convince people, the ability to teach people, you know, the ability to lead people. What are those things that you have? You can start thinking of how to market them. So excellence and competence in skill and service delivery. Competence. What is it that you do well? I know my areas of competence or competencies. Ha. When it comes to teaching, when it comes to breaking down complex concepts to become as simple as possible, I know this one is my field. It's me. Okay. When it comes to breaking down things to a level where any human being can understand it, it's my thing. I love to do it. I can do it very well. I'm proud of it. I'm proud to say that I can do it. You cannot snatch it from me. It's just like that. It's a gift God has given to me, and I have refined it, and I continue to refine it. So yes, speaking is a competency area for me. So I know these things. I know where to channel my energy when I'm preparing myself towards monetization or towards getting a reward. So with what you have, you can literally trade into another sphere of reward, another realm of reward. So if I know how to teach or how to speak, I can offer to speak at events, whether free or paid. And by even if they don't pay me and I go to stand in the stage and speak, somebody else in that audience has met me and they would want to connect and they would want to bring me to speak at their own event. What happened? I traded skill and competency or competence. I traded service for what? For relationship. Money did not come directly, but that second relationship, that second generation relationship, that, oh, because you spoke at this event, I met you. So I introduced, no, I told my, some people will be like, I told my mom about you and she said she would like to connect with you. Or some people will be like, I was listening to your session. Like some of you are listening to this video, right? And you're in your family. I mean, you are in your house, and probably your your mom or your dad is somewhere listening to this by chance. You know, it was not my intention to speak to them, but eventually they are listening to this by chance. And at the end of the day, they're going to be like, who is that guy? I would like to connect. It has happened to me many times. Speaking like this, and somebody is like, oh, while I was listening to it, the phone was in the parlor, and everybody came and they were listening many times. You know how much joy that gives me? Oh my goodness. I mean, it's sweeter than wine, even though I don't drink the kind. I drink sweet wine, but it's very, very interesting. So now, imagine what now happens. And they're like, oh, my mom said she would like to connect with you. My mom said she would like you to mentor her too. My mom said this, my dad said this. Some people are like, my husband. I've been on a call like this, training a group, and the one of the women was like, while you were speaking, my husband came and joined. He overheard what you were saying and he came and joined. And I hope you don't mind. My husband has a question. Do you see what is happening with skill, competence, service, and value coming from the other end? And maybe, just maybe, that person who met you speaking at an event wants to invite you to his own event. This time around, it's no longer free, it's paid. Because you spoke somewhere, somebody saw the way you spoke and they want you to train them personally on public speaking. Did you come there to train on public speaking? No. Did you come there to look for clients? No. But eventually, that is life for you. In fact, sometimes the trading will happen simultaneously. While you are just living your life, the trading is happening. Excellence sells itself. Excellence is a major trade agent. Now, let's go to the next one. And this is one of the reasons you must refine. Whatever you have, refine it. Don't just have a skill, have a gift and feel like, oh, thank you, Lord, you blessed me with this gift. So yeah, I'll go ahead and do whatever I want in this life. You know, nah. Uh-uh. You have to come to the point where you promise yourself that this thing that I have is not just going to end here. It's not going to be mediocre. It's not going to be average. I'm going to refine and refine and refine and refine until I get the best out of it. So the next one, time. Time is a major agent, a major currency of trade. Time. So how can you trade your time? See, I can decide to monetize this thing I'm doing now. I can decide to charge for this, right? I can decide to charge for this. There are many ways to monetize time, right? One, offering consultation calls, one-on-one sessions, right? So I can tell you, oh, my time, I'm monetizing my time. Oh. There are people who will come to me. Can I pick your brain for 30 minutes? Can I pick your brain for just an hour? Just an hour of my time. I'll tell you how much you will pay. Even if I want to really, really help, even if I want to really, really help, I want to be nice, I want to be, good boy and good uncle, good auntie. I mean, not auntie, good uncle, I beg. Good, let me do it for you. I have to place a price on it. Not all the time. Obviously, there's sometimes that I make exceptions, but I can place a price tag. Even if I'm to drop the price and say, okay, normally I charge 20K, but just pay 5,000. Let's talk. Because I want to do it for you. That's one of the ways to monetize time. I hope it's not my generator that is making one kind sound. Maybe I have to probably turn it off and then. Well, however, I believe it's not it. So, like I was saying, time. Find out how you can monetize your time. Okay, it could be offering training. You know how to do something, but many other people around you don't know it and they need that knowledge. Offer a training, gather people 6 days, 3 days, 2 days. It's your time. So you are charging for that time. You can monetize your time through a service. So you are charging and you have it in mind that I'm charging you this amount because I'm going to spend 1 hour or 2 hours doing this. It's part of what is affecting my price anchor or my pricing. Okay, it's part of how you monetize your time. You combine it with service, combine it with a skill, and then put a price tag to it. So I hope you're already realizing that with all these things you can never be poor, because there's no way. If you don't have, even if you don't have money, you have ideas. Even if you do not have so much of the ideas, you may have experience. Even if you do not have experience like that, you have time. Even if you do not have any other thing, you have two hands. You can use these two hands and go and start sweeping somebody's compound. I mean, I'm not praying that that's your destination in life, to be sweeping compound. But let me tell you the truth. Let's not lie to ourselves. Some of the richest people I know are into dirty job. By dirty job, I mean cleaning services. You that is thinking is a dirty job because you're not doing it and you don't know how much they are making from it. But some of these guys are really, really wealthy. They call them all around the globe, the country, come and clean, come and professional cleaning services. Some of them are houses in the village. You will call clean and they'll still carry money. You don't know how much they are making. That's why you think it's a dirty job. So with this your two hands, you can actually go start a cleaning service and keep upgrading, keep upgrading. How many of you? Some of you know Kochi's cleaning services, Charity Walaka. Kochi's. She's making a lot of money flying around the country, cleaning from one place to another, cleaning churches, clean. It's a cleaning job. It's cleaning. It's cleaning. You clean, you carry hand, carry rag, clean dust, wipe this one, sweep, clean. Use is she upgraded and she was now using all those vacuum. But I know that wasn't how that was not how she started. Initially, I know that wasn't how she started. Okay, so combine your service or your skill with time, you'll be able to monetize it. Put a price tag to it. Okay. Sometimes your time will be by the virtue you are combining knowledge or some one ability that you have by the virtue of your experience. I'm going to sit with you for 2 hours and we'll talk about this. You are paying me $1,000. If you no one pay, waka, go and get help on YouTube. I'm a professional psychologist. But if you cannot pay me, yes, you can check YouTube. I do this sometimes, Sha. So let me cast the update on time. I do sometimes. So sometimes people come to me and they're like, can I pick your brain for 30 minutes and da 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 da? Can I, can you mentor me? Can you? I'm like, I don't offer free mentorship. You cannot pick my, okay, if you pick my brain, this is the amount you have to pay. And they're like, ah, sir, please, I don't have money. I don't have my this one. My great grandmother swallowed butterfly and butterfly escaped and disappeared in her stomach and turned to caterpillar and saying many plenty things, and the stories are touching, yeah. But I think about it and I know I just can't. My calendar is filled up, it's filled to the brim, it's overflowing. So what do I do? I mean, there's some, if you check YouTube well, if you check YouTube well, you can see a lot of useful resources that will help you with what you are going through. Is it branding? Is it whatever? Yeah, just check, search, you find. Seek and you shall find. Yeah. But as for me bringing out my time, you have to pay for it. I'm sorry, but no sorry, but you have to pay for it. Yeah. So time can be monetized. Time can be traded. Okay. You find creative ways to trade whatever it is that you want to trade. Now let's go to the next one. Spiritual people will like this one. Spiritual knowledge, spiritual authority, spiritual influence can be traded. This is one of the reasons why some of the richest people that in this world, some of the richest men and women that in this country, particularly in this side of the world, in this country, in Nigeria, some of the richest people that are spiritual people. Now, I would love to talk about pastors, priests, men of God. But let's not forget, when we talk about spirituality, yeah, you see some of these juju people on Facebook. Even juju man, they run ads for Facebook these days. I see those adverts and I'm like, what the heck is going on? So like, you see traditionalists running ads, traditional herbalists, huh? Native doctors, they are out there and they are making a lot of money. Why? They are exploring something. There's a deep spiritual desire in every man. Even people who do not believe that God exists, there's a deep spiritual atmosphere within everybody. There's a deep spiritual need within every human being. No matter how you try to shut it down, it will keep popping itself up, it will keep showing itself. So that need is already something that a lot of people can explore, right? And let me tell you how this thing gets rewarded. Spiritual knowledge, authority, spiritual understanding, spiritual influence. Look at preachers like Apostle Joshua Selman, Apostle Michael Rocco, Apostle Arome, Apostle Femi Lazarus. Some of these men, when they call for donation, when they call for something, a need in the church, they don't even need manipulation. They don't need to manipulate anybody. They don't need to start telling stories, or they don't need to start cursing you because you don't pay tithes. God will curse you, thunder will fire you, thunder will fire your business, you will die. No, they don't need to do that. By the virtue of the spiritual authority they have over these people, it is easy for them to yield their hearts and yield their wealth. So a trade is going on. Look at Pastor Jerry Eze. He prays for people, they get healing, they get healed, they get, the results that they are coming for. It's spiritual. But then these people would equally want to support in one way or the other. And most of the time, when you look around and you don't see a tangible way to support, you just say, let me send my money, let my money go for me. Right? That's it. Let my money just support whatever it wants to do, let it do. But I've just sent something. Okay? So spiritual authority, spiritual influence is part of the equation. It's a currency. I'm not saying that everybody must turn spiritualist. That's not what I'm saying. But it is an undeniable currency. Wisdom, insight from holy books, those things are things that you can use to solve other people's problems, and they want to reward you without you having to manipulate them. That's where I usually get into trouble, run into trouble with some ministers and men of God. If you're actually doing this thing right, if you're actually getting results, if you're actually following God's will, right, you do not have to manipulate people, you don't have to lie, you don't have to exaggerate anything, you do not have to squeeze people's necks and tell them stories about how they would die if they don't pay tithes. tight and how their business will fail. You don't need to do all those things. If you're actually getting results and you know what you're doing and you're following the will of God, people would naturally gravitate towards giving. People will serve with their hearts. They will sell their lives and say, I'm giving my life not only to God, but to this church, to this mission. I'm giving my life. Why? You have helped them solve their own problems spiritually. Okay, now, good. The next one is credentials. And in this particular one, I'm going to be talking about, things like profile, certifications and licenses, credentials. Invest in credentials because they can be traded. Why? They can help you get trust to get something else. Two, they can directly become the requirement for you to access a certain level of opportunity, a certain level of success in your career or business. Okay, credentials. Now, this credential can be CAC certificate, it can be tax identification number, it can be a certification or license in a particular thing in your profession. It can be ACCA or ICANN. It can be, doctorate program or PhD. It can be something that this one will just make you a little bit different from your peers, right? Certified this, certified that, certified life coach, certified. It's not as if the certified will make any difference, like any major difference, but just because it is a basic requirement for you to be able to apply for one opportunity or the other. What certifications do you have? What licenses do you have? Credentials matter. Testimonials matter. That you have been able to do this thing for somebody and do it for somebody, and they came back to say, thank you, I got results. Those things are things that should be documented. Your portfolio should be ready at all times. So the opportunities you want to apply for, you don't need to speak long grammar. Just send your portfolio. Just type a little something and send. These are the things I have done. So if you want me to work with you, we can talk about the terms. They check out what you've done and it sells the thing to them and they are ready. So the last, not last, okay. The next one, leisure and fun. Leisure, fun, relaxation is a currency. So you should be thinking, how can this make money? How can this be translated into another form of wealth? Now in Abuja, you see places like Pleasure Park, Port Harcourt. You see places like Magic Land. You see places like Oka Wonderland. You see places like Millennium Park and all these fun places that people go for leisure to ease off. Considering the fact that particularly in this side of the world, people are suffering too much. So sometimes they just need momentary escape and they can pay anything, any amount for that momentary escape. So if you can find a way to offer that to people, offer people leisure. This is one of the reasons why comedians make a lot of money, because sometimes we are too tired and overwhelmed. We just want to have a good laugh. So we subscribe to their channels. Sabino's Just Too Funny. That guy cracks the living daylight out of me, cracks me up all the time. So we want to get that momentary dopamine high. Let's just laugh and just forget about our worries for a while. So that's also a currency that you can trade. How can you provide that atmosphere for people? Are you going to comedy? I'm not saying you should. Are you considering, okay, can I have a fun hangout in Abuja? Can I bring people together to just come and laugh and have fun? Nothing serious. Can I, do this? If you start doing that kind of thing, I can assure you that you're just bringing people together to crack jokes. Crack jokes, play, have fun, and that's all. Nothing else. Nothing. No training. No serious thing. Nothing. Just come, have fun, go to your house. A lot of people will be so happy. In fact, some people need coordinated play. If you say 500 naira, 1,000 naira, everybody will come out on Saturday. We are going to Magic Land. Arrive in Magic Land, we'll go from one place to another. So some people just want that atmosphere. It is a currency that you can tap into. Okay, so leisure, fun, relaxation, currency. Another one, emotional satisfaction. emotional satisfaction. See, this is one of the reasons why people marry. This is one of the reasons why people date or fall in love with certain people. So you see, transaction is already happening. Yeah, emotional satisfaction and marriage. Two different currencies are being exchanged. So, like I was saying, um, some people will tell you, "Oh, I married this guy because he was giving me peace of mind." What's that peace of mind? Like how? Married this lady because she was giving me peace of mind. What's the peace of mind? Okay. So you see, there's always that longing to that emotional connection, that satisfaction. There's that longing that we need. We need to come to a point where we are free from pressure, we are free from oppression, where we can love and be loved. Okay. So sometimes if you're offering people that sense of emotional satisfaction, it doesn't have to be always, romanticized, a bit romanticized, romancy. It doesn't have to always be linked to romance. Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. Ehen. If you're offering that kind of emotional connection, people will always want to be around you. If you're offering people emotional solace and comfort through your posts, through your contents that you're putting out on social media, they'll always want to hang around you. And because they're hanging around you, occasionally you will sell something and they want to buy. You may affiliate for a product and they want to buy. That's how it works. So through my content, I always try to offer people that solace. The online space is rugged. Everybody's coming online to talk about their wins, talk about the nice things that is going on, that nice things that are going on in their lives, talk about what they are doing well, right? So sometimes I come to people and I remind them, look, you are doing a lot. You are trying. You are not left behind. You are not wasting away. There's always something that you can do. You can take a step further from here. I make mistakes too. Sometimes I go vocal about my mistakes, and it helps people draw some succor and strength. Okay, since this guy can experience this, me experiencing it is not out of the equation. I can get out of this too. That kind of atmosphere. So people are getting attracted to your brand. They are getting attracted. They're coming closer. Are we following tonight? Who is still with me? 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 So emotional satisfaction. Sometimes that's why you buy some things in the market. It gives you that fulfillment. You know, sometimes you buy fuel because you just want to feel satisfied. Emotional satisfaction. It's not because of any other thing. You just want to see life and be satisfied and be happy. Your phone is full, your power bank is full, your laptop is full, but the generator is still on. There's a longing that needs to be satisfied. Sometimes you want to do good for people because you want to feel emotionally satisfied. So that's also a currency. Sometimes I have met rich people that are so emotionally downcast, abi, emotionally downtrodden, because they feel they are not giving out enough. They feel they've lived their lives pursuing money. So right now they need something else. Right now they want to give out. I've met people who I would definitely call them successful people, right? By the virtue of what they have, but they were dissatisfied. They will open up to you and tell you, I am not happy. I feel I should be doing more. I want to start an academy. I want to mentor young people. I want to help young professionals, but I don't know how to go about it. This is their frustration. They know that at that point in their lives, they don't need money, they don't need association, they don't need relationships. They've passed that level. What they just need at that point is to satisfy that emotional longing in them that says, I have to give value to people. I have to empower other people. I have to speak to younger ones. I have to raise people to come after me. Emotional satisfaction. This is what will make some people take certain jobs. It's not that those jobs pay them, but emotional satisfaction. Somebody will come and tell you, I want to teach in a primary school, and you think it's jazz. How much is your salary? They'll tell you 30K. 30K, how much is your transport in a month? 35K. But I want to teach in a primary school. Be careful about this, because it can land you in the gutters. can carry you up and beam land you on the ground and you break your bones. So be careful about this one. Use your all of your senses to think well. Yeah, don't judge everything based on emotion alone. So now the next one, visibility and virality. These are also currencies. Visibility and virality. What do I mean? How many people are setting their eyes on what you are doing? Whatever it is that you are doing right now, how many people are seeing it? It's not just about having good intentions. It's not just about having a good product. How many people are actually seeing what you are offering? Okay. So if you get visible, or if you go viral, or if you have a lot of followership on social media, how can you explore that? How can you exchange that? How can you trade that? So you can become an influencer marketer. I mean, can start influencing for brands. You can become a brand ambassador just by the virtue of the number of followers and likes that you amass. So they want more views, they want more eyes to see what they are doing. Aproko Doctor is enjoying this right now. Aquafina will call him for brand partnership. These people will call him, tech organizations will call him, startups will call him, and he's enjoying it. He's collecting money. At a point, I even saw him begging people. Doctor is not the only thing medical this thing is not the only thing I do. So please, you people should package yourself, organize yourself. He was doing one live stream for a startup he was partnering with. He was doing brand ambassadorship for. It was meant to be tech startup. People just jumped into the live stream. Before I knew what was happening, 900 and something people were there. I go, doctor, I have a rash in my ear. My baby is this one. My baby's eyes are turning chocolate. This one, my stomach is turning. What do I do? What do I drink if I want to do this? If I want to last longer in bed, what do I do? People were just asking health related questions. I was now begging them, please, oh, this live stream is different. See the topic. This is not about health. So everybody should calm down. Let's all respect ourselves. This is not the health side of me. I'm not here as doctor. Just respect yourself. Let me fit collect my money. you know. But that's life for you. Once you go viral, once you are popular, once you are famous, there's almost nothing. I mean, there's forget it. To be rich will be easy for you. Because that's what you should be thinking about. What kind of audience do I have and how can I utilize that? Okay. If you have a product that you are selling, even if it is 1k, and you are sure that whenever you post this product, 1,000 people will buy, or 1,000 people will see it, or 10,000 people will see it, and about 1,000 people will pick interest, and about 500 will buy. So even if it is 1,000 naira and 500 buy, it's 500k. Even if you're able to do 500k only in 2 weeks, or in 3 weeks, or in 1 month, that's fine. You are living larger than a lot of people. In fact, than most people in this country. To be sincere, if you are earning 500k per month now, you are living larger than most people in this country, especially if your workplace is close to you, or especially when you are working from home. Just sit in your house, post one thing online, YouTube will monetize you. That's also another thing. When you are famous, you can drag people up and down, drag them from Facebook, drag them into YouTube, they'll come and watch your video. That's what a lot of people are doing. Facebook now is getting monetized. You can easily get monetized because of virality. So these are the things that you should be considering when it comes to trading, trading these currencies. Okay. So the next one, and the final one. This is the 13th currency of trade. 13th. We've come a long way together. So at this point, I want you to just put your hands together for yourself. If you are still watching and you've not slept off, do something for yourself. Do something. Clap for yourself. It's not easy. 1 hour, 25 minutes. It's not easy at all. Okay? And I celebrate you for being here. I celebrate you. Really, I do. It's not easy. Okay? So many people have slept off. That's why they are not commenting. So many people have gone to do some other things, and that's perfectly fine. But I can see Prosper here. I can see Charity here. I can see who else? Chukuma here. Well done. I celebrate. I celebrate you. In fact, those of you that are still here, you need to send me a message. I want to personally say the congratulations. Well done. So the last and the finalist one, virtue, virtue, virtue. Now, under this virtue, we have a lot of things, right? A lot of things, and I'll be sharing those things. This is best personally about intangibles, value systems, ideologies, belief systems that make you different from the other person, core values, things like integrity. And I'll explain some of this. I'll take time to stop at different points and explain some of this. Integrity, gratitude, confidence, selflessness, authenticity, trustworthiness, humility, a smile on your face, discipline. I mentioned that earlier. Work ethics, frugality, moral indignations or morality, modesty, sincerity. Which other one? After modesty, uh, uh, that's what they call it. That's what they call it. I don't know if you know this lady, Ochedo Deborah, right? Deborah Ochedo also, that got married recently. Cover body movement, you know, that cover body literally sold her brand. It made her more popular, and it did make her more money, definitely. Modesty, modesty sells. So it's a personal attribute, but it sells. Now, moral indignation. Now, let me come back to integrity. There are some people who, there are some opportunities that will come to you because of your integrity. Because even people who don't like you will bring such opportunities your way. Oh, we need somebody to work as a treasurer. We know that you will not lie. We know you cannot do like this. So we can we can trust you. Trust. You're trustworthy. So please handle this money. We want to make you, appoint you to become this and that. We want to run certain transactions, but because we trust you, we'll do it through you. You'll get your commission. So that's how people will come to you, just like that, by the virtue of how much of a person of integrity that you are. The next one, gratitude. See, Jesus healed. I always love to use this analogy. Jesus healed 10 lepers. Only one came back to say thank you. The rest were rejoicing, but one came back. And the scriptures had it recorded that it was that one that came back that received what we call holistic healing. That one was made whole. Some people don't know how to give gratitude. Some people know how to give gratitude, and it makes all the difference for them. Show gratitude. It's a currency that can be traded. There are some people that gratitude have gotten them into relationships. Gratitude has won them mentors. Oh, thank you so much, sir. I attended your session and it changed my life. And that. That's how somebody got access to a relationship that literally catapulted them into another dimension. Gratitude. Be a person of gratitude. Have that attitude of gratitude. Gratitude is an attitude of great people. Now, core values. There are other core values, a lot of them. So you decide what it is. But people are going to pick you out for those core values, for what you stand for. That simplicity, honesty, servitude, you know, whatever it is, people are going to pick you out. People are going to love you for that. People are going to want to connect with you for that. And eventually, You see how you are going to be able to trade that. Now, the next one, authenticity, selflessness. Let me talk about selflessness a bit. How selfless can you be? Okay, selfless people build the best brands. Selfless people build the best businesses, because at the end of the day, they are not thinking about just themselves, they're thinking about other people. Selflessness will definitely make you wealthy. Why? You're not seeing only yourself in the equation, so it doubles up the work that you have to do in your mind. So the next one, authenticity. There are some people that are going to connect with you because of how vulnerable you are, because of how real you are. I have a lot of people who have met me, and they will be like, CJ, you are too real. You are real, you are not fake, you are real. I connect with you personally. Your stories are real. I feel like you are touching it where you should touch it. I feel like I can touch your stories, I can touch your experience. Of all the coaches I've met, you are the most authentic, and that is why I stuck with you. You may not have a mansion or a car, you may not even be married, but I choose you to mentor me. Why? Because of something that I hear those things a lot. I hear it a lot. So you see that that's where the difference is. Authenticity is a trade secret. Authenticity is also an asset. It's a currency that can be traded. So I'm trying to open your mind to the fact that almost everything you have, almost everything you can think of, can be traded. So find what you can and use it to your advantage. Now, humility, humility, work ethic, frugality. Let me talk about work ethic. There's some people that will connect with you because they like the way you work. They like the principles that you set at work. Nwachukwu Okoli, well done. Thank you. Thank you. They like how you act at work, the way you carry yourself and all that. Your work ethics, punctuality, organization. For some people, it's humility. Oh, this guy, you are humble. Upon everything you've achieved, you don't rub it on people's faces. You try to connect with people. You are very humble, and they like you for that, and they connect with you for that. Madam Adiola, good to have you here. Good to have you. I throw a salute for you. So, you know, simplicity too is a currency that can be traded. There are some people that you will see them, and you literally want to be like them because they appear simple, and that simplicity speaks to you. Frugality, you see, frugality. They say somebody is stingy. Sometimes that stinginess as an attribute can be traded. You see, it was one of the slogans that sold Mr. P2B, my president. It was one of those. We know they give shishi. So many people connected with that because they found it a worthy attribute. They found it as, you know, a sign of respect for the nation's economy, a sign of respect for the state's economy, that you are not trying to rob the state to pay your friends or rob the state to pay your family. We are not, you are not harvesting money from anywhere. So that sense of frugality sold him to many people. That Aka chewing gumness, yeah, it sold him to many people. So you see how virtue can be traded. In this sense, it's not bad virtue, it's not selfishness, it's just spent, it's not spendthrift. What do they call it again? Sha, frugality, but not in a bad light, anyways. Not in a bad light. Now, so this is the final one. This can be traded. Sometimes this makes all the difference. That smile on your face. Sometimes that's the difference between closing that deal and getting a no from your client or your customer, I mean, your prospect or your customer. Sometimes that could be the difference between a good healthcare practitioner and a cocky one. Sometimes that could be all the difference that will bring the transformation that somebody is looking for with your business or your product. It's mine. I can tell you this one for free. I can tell you this for a fact because I have tried it, I've tested it. This is the life I live. Today, I was seeing a patient of mine that walked into our clinic. And right from the moment she stepped into the treatment, the consulting room, I sat there with her. I was just smiling. I was smiling. I did not know why I was smiling. But I was smiling, you know. And while she came in, initially she was quite moody, probably worried about her pain. And while she came in, she sat down, she looked me in the face and she started smiling. Next thing, she started laughing. She laughed and laughed and laughed and now asked me, "Why are you smiling?" I don't even know what I told her, but I know I said something. I can't remember what I said. And what I said was also funny, so we started laughing too. That made so much difference to her. Because that's not the kind of, I mean, that's not the atmosphere she usually gets, or any patient will usually get when they walk into to see a health professional. Most times it's like, "Oh, so what brought you here? Chaka, 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 chaka. What brought you? Okay, and take this medication." And that's no. Smile. That smile on your face can be traded. It can win you trust. It can win you relationships, friendships. So I go for events sometimes, and I go to connect to people. I stretch out my hand for a handshake, and then you look at my face and you see this. You see this golden smile. Especially with my, maybe I should add diastema, gap tooth, that can be traded to, and maybe beards and mustache. Okay, so I'm trying to pass an information here. Whatever it is that you have, be proud of what you have, be proud of it, and always be thinking, how can I monetize this? How can I make money from this? How can I sell this? How can I trade this? It could be your eloquence, the fact that you speak well, you speak Queen's English that you learned from Telemundo. No, hey, Telemundo qua. Hey, yeah, you speak Queen's English that you learned from. Is it? It cannot be K drama. What's wrong with me? You learn from English movies or British movies. You speak all those. So you just be proud of it, push it out, sell it, sell your way through life. Nobody's coming to help you in the real sense. Honestly, people are only coming for exchange. Nobody's coming to help you. Nobody's coming to save you. People are coming for exchange. So even when you don't think you have something to offer, let your hands be filled with gratitude that somebody helps you and you say thank you and they are obligated to helping more. Let me share a story and wrap up tonight. This story I'm going to share is more of a testimony than a story, and I reserved it for Sunday um, to share with my brethren in church in our small discipleship cell group, discipleship training school. So I decided that I was going to share it to inspire people towards goodwill. So this is what happened. If you are following me, type story. If you want to hear this story, type story. Because I'm probably going to share how I found the love of my life. after sharing the story. So if I share the story, I'll share that one too. So it's going to take maybe 3 minutes of my time. So you are following and you want to hear the story, type story. If you don't want to hear the story, don't type. Then we'll end it here for tonight. We are done. I can say we are okay. It's just a few people that are responding. I can say we are done. I'll no longer share how I met the love of my life. Story, 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 story. Okay. So story number one. I went for something. I went to see a client in a place that is quite far from my house. And while I was there, on my way back, there was a sandstorm, very heavy sandstorm. It was about to rain, and the dust was too much. It was so heavy. So the bike I entered from that place to the junction, the breeze was literally pushing us back. So at a point, we couldn't move anymore. Occasionally, you just feel a wave of sand that will hit your skin, like pour on my skin. Very painful. So I told the bike man, my hair was filled with sand. That was yesterday. My hair, sand everywhere. I was painted brown. So what did I do? I told the bike man to stop and I entered one place. I found a store, an apartment, a building where they do Bet Niger and stuff like that. So I entered inside. I went upstairs. Now, the client that I went to see put food for me inside takeaway pack, wrapped it, put spoon, gave me malt. The malt is even still here, and salad, rice, and two big meats, goat meat. So I was happy. But when that thing started, I was like, oh my goodness, I'm not going to get home on time, and this food is going to probably spoil before I get home. It shouldn't have. I mean, I don't know, but I don't know what my mind was just telling me. I decided to take the chances. Okay, and what did I do? I sat there. I went into the Bet Niger shop, right? And I decided to sit down there. And after a while, I decided that I was going to start eating the food so the salad doesn't spoil. Okay. So what happened was there was this young man sitting beside me. The way he was sitting, I knew he was frustrated. This is how he was sitting, like this. And he had his cap covering his head. Let me just use this my shirt. The cap was covering his head like this. So he was sitting this way beside me. So when I came and I opened that food there, it's because some other people were there watching football and playing bet. So when I opened the food there in their midst, people were just turning and looking. So the guy turned, looked at me, turned again, and covered his eyes. And you know, my spirit ministered to me. You should share this. I mean, this has been what has been preached about in church. This is what we've been all about. I currently fellowship with Family Worship Center, and I've been learning a lot about culture, real Christian life. I mean, culture from there, in the sense that love is an action more than it is just a word. I mean, It's more of an action. So ordinarily, I would have wanted to help, but I would still have questions in my head like, would this person accept this help, and all that. So I ate and ate and ate. I wanted to finish that food. I was really hungry. I needed to finish that food. I had to finish that food, but I couldn't. I was just held back. So I ate one piece of meat, and left the other one. You know, the rice was still remaining. I looked at him and I tapped him on the shoulder. He turned and looked at me, and I handed over the food to him. I asked him, would you like to join me? The guy turned and looked at me. He didn't say yes. He stretched out his arms, and I handed him the food. You need to see the joy in my heart when he started eating that food. I was so happy. I was so happy. And one of the reasons I was happy is because sometimes you can never tell what people are going through until you extend a hand of, oh, charity, Jimo, we are the people who care. Yes. So I'm getting a bit teary here. Let me not embarrass myself. Uh-huh. So like I was saying, I extended a hand of fellowship. Let me call it hand of rice to him. And he ate, and he was glad. I could tell he was happy. Now, little did I know that there was a story he had to share. So what happened when he finished eating this food? When he finished eating this food, by the time he finished eating, the rain had stopped. And to be honest, where I was at that moment, I did not know my bearing. So if I were to go out, I would have probably booked another bike, not knowing that where I was going to go and enter the taxi was just like 1 minute walk from where I was. So I would have booked another bike, and the bike would have charged me well, probably just go to turn around and drop me there. you know. So when we finished, this guy followed me. He was like, he's also going to the junction. He's going to somewhere else, but let him see me off. So we both started walking. We both started going towards that direction. And he took me. He personally took me and let me show you the way. So by the time we were getting to the junction, he came. Thank you very much. I mean, I'm grateful to God. I see it as a big opportunity. So by the time we were getting to the junction, he told me, thank you so much. You don't know what you did for me. He said something. He said, this thing you did for me, you literally woke me up from the dead. That's what he said. Said, you brought me back to the land of the living. That that I can never understand what I just did for him. That act, that singular act of kindness, sharing my food with him, a total stranger. So while we were still going, he now started narrating his story. Now look at why I'm sharing this is because I'm trying to illustrate gratitude, the power of gratitude. He was sharing his story, and he said he entered a, okay, it was late and it was about to rain, and he was going somewhere. He was going all the way to, I think it's, he mentioned Madala also. He had 21,000 naira in his pocket. He couldn't find a vehicle, so he saw one pickup van and decided to enter the pickup van with a lady. The lady convinced him, okay, let's enter. Since we're not finding vehicle, let's just enter this one. He said, He doesn't want to enter. The lady convinced him and they entered. So while they were struggling to enter, someone dipped the person's hand in his pocket and moved the 21,000 naira. Now, he didn't know until it was time to come down. Now, what touched me is that he said when he came down, he put his hand in his pocket so that he would bring out money and pay for himself and the lady that two of them decided to board the vehicle. But he found out that the money was missing. It has been moved. So what did he do? He told the lady that the money, told the lady what happened, and she was moved, and she decided to pay for both of them. Now, the fact that he wanted to actually help somebody, it touched me. Now, he said that since that thing happened, he has not been able to go back to where he was going to. That he slept, he had to beg a driver there, that it was in the driver's car that he slept at night. So he was just in that spot. I met him thinking about life, that there was nothing, he had not eaten since that day, since the previous day, and that if nothing happens, that he doesn't even know how he will go back to where he was going to. So he will probably sleep there again that night that I met him. That moved me. He did not ask me for money, but I did something. After a while, because at a point where he was meant to go, he said, "No, let him take me further." So he took me to a point. I brought out money from my wallet. After hearing his story, I called him back. Come, I brought out some money from my wallet and I handed it over to him. He froze. Like, he hesitated to receive the money. It weakened him. Because, dude, this is somebody I've not met. This is somebody I don't know. No previous, nothing. But I was led to give him that. And I gave him. And while he was collecting the money, he broke down. "I'm grateful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much." That, like, how? He couldn't explain himself. He just said, "Please, can I have your number? Please, just give me your number, please." So I wrote my number down for him. Said, "I'll give you a call." He left. After a while, I saw somebody coming towards me. It was him. He came back again and said, "I cannot leave you here. I want to be sure that you have entered the vehicle and you are going home. I want to be sure that I take you to that point." So he took me. We crossed the road together. In fact, it was as if I was with my elder brother. So we crossed that road together, moved to the other side, and he waited for me there until I entered the taxi that was taking me to my direction. When I asked how much, say 400 naira. The guy was like, "Hope the price is okay for you." I said, "Yes, okay. Bye bye." And I entered. Now, what happened? That second transaction was because of something. That second transaction, he told me his problem, but he did not ask me for money. He did not ask me for anything. He just told me his issue. And the issue was not because he wanted to tell me, it was just because he was expressing gratitude for what I had already done by sharing my food. That's all. That's all. And by that act of gratitude that he was showing, I was able to pick another need that he had, and I decided that I was going to at least contribute something, no matter how little it was. Right? So, this lesson I shared is about gratitude. Sometimes what you need to receive more reward is knowing how to say thank you. What you need to trade is gratitude. Sometimes knowing how to reach out to a mentor and say, "Thank you for the impact you've been in my you've added to my life. Thank you for all the good things you've done for me. Thank you for being there." Your ability to reach out to a friend and say, "Yeah, I know how hard it is to keep up with friendships. I know how hard it is to make out time for other people. I know how hard it is, but you, my friend, you've been different. Thank you. Thank you for not giving up on me." Reaching out to your teachers or your lecturers or your coaches, saying, "Thank you for doing this for me. I really, really do appreciate." That can be all of the difference that you're looking for. So now, how many of you enjoyed this story? How many enjoyed this story? I want to know how many of you enjoyed this story. How many enjoyed the story? How many cried? So yes, I hope I hope I've been able to capture the essence of this teaching tonight. It's been long. It's been long. I've wanted to deliver this training for a long time, but time and chance. But now I've done it, and I'm happy. I'm glad. So I can always refer people to this to watch as a replay. I can always, ask people to come here and see what we've done so far. You know, and I'm happy that I've done this. So thank you all for joining. If you were waiting for me to tell the story of how I met, ah, if you sand don't enter my eyes. If you have been waiting for me to tell the story of how I met the love of my life, this sand, it's just this sand. It's because of this sand, and then my battery is getting low. I just had to plug it now, so it's in 11%. So that one, I'll I'll keep that story for later. I'll keep the other story for a later date. For later. You get why? So unbelievers will say I've not met the love of my life. Doubting Thomas will say it's not true. But you never can tell. Hearer, go and hear the word of the Lord. Stop waiting to hear this one. Okay, so yes. Don't mind me. One day I'll tell that story. Anyway, okay, don't worry. Very soon I'll prepare for it. Just be attending all. See, I promise you, in one of my live sessions in the future, I'll share the story. I'll squeeze it in. So you don't have to be attending all of the live sessions and looking for the story. You're looking for the story. When you see it, we'll rejoice together. Don't tell anybody, but I'll hide it in one of the sessions. So I hope we've had fun, and I look forward to answering your questions. If you have any question so far, if you have any questions so far, maybe you want to learn how to trade a particular skill, a particular currency that you have found out by the virtue of this conversation that we've had. You've discovered that, oh, you have one or two or three or four or five of this, and you want to learn how to trade. You want to learn what to make of it. Madam Chukuma, believe me, I will share it one day. I promise you, one day I'll share it. One day I'll share it. I promise you. I promise you, I'll share it one day. I won't run away from that one. Share it one day. So, like I was saying, like I was saying, if you have any question at all based on what we've discussed tonight, please shoot. Please ask. So I'll be leaving the call open for now, so that if you have questions, you can share the questions, and I'll come here and I'll answer the questions. Okay? Come here and I'll answer questions. And if you have feedback as well, what you've gained from this session, you know, you can put it down in the comment section. Put it down in the comments, and I'll put up your comments on the live banner, whatever. Okay, so feel free to share this with your friends. Share this conversation. This is going to liberate a lot of people, a whole lot of people. So you can share this with your loved ones, your family members. If you are watching this as well, I would like you to just hit the like button on this post, wherever you are watching this from, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, wherever. So you just hit the like button to help promote this post when it goes live. Once I hit the end button, to help to promote it. Let people know that you joined this session and you got value. You can reshare, you can add your words to it. This is my payment for this session. I mean, I would really love that testimonial if it really affected you, if you really got value from it. I really love to hear your words. I really love to see you post it on social media and talk about this session. You know, I'll tell you one of the reasons. This is very hard for me to do. I will not lie. Unlike some years ago that I mean, I had a lot of time on my shoulders. Now it is hard. It's very hard. I'm still dressed in my work clothes. I've not taken off my clothes, my shirt since I came back. I had to buy fuel to stream this because we've not had light for like 2 weeks now. So, I had to buy fuel for my generator. And when I'm done now, I'll go and start doing other things that I have to do to prepare for work tomorrow because I have to leave very early. So it's hard for me to come. Whenever I come out and do these things, it's a lot of sacrifice. Like, it's a lot of sacrifice. Sometimes I wish I were not doing it, but I can't help it. I have to. I have to. Okay. So I personally would love to see that feedback to know that okay, somebody followed, somebody found it worth following, somebody found it worth sharing, somebody found it worth joining. Madam Abiola Abolanle Hoka, this has been, thank you very much for joining. Thank you very much for joining. And if if you are seeing this on Facebook, I want you to follow this woman. Follow this woman. She is, I mean, I don't know how to explain it, but she's a star. She's a shining star. You'll definitely get inspired by her work. And she's somebody I can recommend. Somebody I can always trust. I can always recommend for anything that she says she does. She's always showing up. She's always there. She's always supporting. And I really, really, really appreciate. I strongly appreciate. I strongly appreciate. So yes, that's it. I go through a lot. I go through a lot. It's painful, but yes, um, I thank God. I still count it as a privilege to be able to do this. Oh, so yes, since we don't have questions yet, I'm going to say goodbye and do have an amazing night rest. So if you want to have a conversation with me over some of these things that we've have shared, you want to have a private personal consultation, a clarity session, how to gain clarity, monetize your skills, or you need my mentorship one way or the other, come around and ask. Come around and ask, and then we can talk about it. We can talk about terms. Okay. As much as possible, I try as much as I can to help as many as I can, as much as it depends on me. But the only thing is, based on my current situation, I can only work with very, very few people. Very few people. This is not me coming to shout limited slots on Facebook or anywhere. I can only work with few people. For me, I would love to work with as many people as possible. As many people as possible. But unfortunately, I can only work with a few. Okay? So yes. Thank you for joining and making my sacrifices worthy. Buying fuel at black market rate to host a free class is scary. Yeah, it's quite scary, but it's one of those things, one of those sacrifices we must own up to and responsibilities that we must carry along on our shoulders. So I appreciate. Thank you all for joining. Thank you all for joining. Thank you. You're welcome, Madam Abiola. You're welcome. You're welcome. Nice having you here. So you all do have an amazing day. Yes, I can see her content here. So follow her. Valuable content on beauty, healthcare, skincare, wellness, and healthy lifestyle, business opportunities. Kindly follow. Yes, go and follow her. follow her on Facebook. You get a lot of insight. So have a wonderful night rest, you all. And don't forget to like, share, follow, whichever. Bye. Bye, everyone.